Hi coffee beans! Welcome back for another resin video. This time we'll be making a castle maze using this silicone mold from the Sophie and Toffee December Blowout box. As always, I'll leave the links below to the products I use. To address the elephant in the room, and my thumbs, and this finger. I'm sure you guys have noticed that I've had a lot of cuts on my fingers and sometimes band-aids. I don't mean to be gross or anything, it's just my eczema, and wintertime is just the worst for my skin. Wah wah. So much for having nice hands. Well, back to the project. Lately, I've been really inspired by Galaxy art, so for this mold, I'll be trying to do a darker blue gradient up to purple or pink. But I've never, ever even tried Galaxy art, so we'll see. You know, I like to make it difficult for myself. For this project, I will be using this Castle Maze mold from the Sophie and Toffee December Blowout box, Sophie and Toffee UV Resin, iridescent star glitter, which is called unicorn tears by the way, and I'm pretty upset about unicorns crying. Why are we collecting their tears? These 3 glitters from the December Blowout box. I originally was going to do only the pink and teal, but I wanted to add a darker color in there, so I thought I'd be brave and try to use this black colored glitter. Iridescent snowflakes. This is for holiday decor, and it ended up being a huge mistake, which you'll see later. Sophie and Toffee pigment dye in blue, crystal pigment dye in purple, and white resin colorant. 2 metal ball bearings from the December Blowout box. 2 screw type eye pins from Michaels, and glow-in-the-dark embellishment from the December Blowout box. As I mentioned before, my goal is to try and do Galaxy art inspired castle. So I started by applying pink glitter to the top of the castle. You really have to grab a bit of glitter and sort of pat it onto the mold rather than brushing it on. Then I moved on to the teal color and added it to the middle of the castle, trying to get it into the nooks and crannies. I also went back to the pink and blended it into the teal a little to help with the gradient effect. Next, I took some of the black and added it to the corner of the mold. I didn't want the colors to be horizontal lines because Galaxy art is usually pretty swirly, so I only added it to the corner and then added more teal to the other corner before blending it all together. I also added some more black glitter in splashes around the mold to replicate the empty areas of space between the nebula type colors. You know, because I'm an astronomer and I know everything there is to know about space. Then I began the monotonous task of adding stars to my Galaxy Castle. First, I tried adding a dab of resin to my pointy tool to add the stars, but the stars wouldn't come off the pointy tool. Then I tried tweezers, but I kept accidentally flinging stars everywhere. And finally, I used my tweezers and the pointy tool to add the stars one by one, while also trying to make it look organic rather than strategically placed, kind of like organized chaos. Needless to say, stars went everywhere. I lost a few, found them later in a completely different room, and it took forever. I always have this trouble with this particular glitter, but I love them so much I can't not use it, you know? When I felt satisfied with the amount of glitter, I stopped. Okay, one more. Okay, just one more. Okay, no, really, this is the last one. Okay, I'm done. Next, it's time to move on to our resin. But of course, I needed to open a new bottle, and my crappy eczema fingers just don't have the dexterity to open the stupid tab. So I got out my sharp pointy tool, and it did the trick. I used a paper towel to prevent the resin from getting on my fingers, and there, done. I poured it into my silicone cup first to prevent a mass uprising of air bubbles. Then I poured it all over my mold, careful to get it into the maze walls and edges. Of course, the resin moved all of my meticulously placed stars, but I guess that helped to make it look more natural. Finally, I gently tilted the mold to slide the resin around and fill in the gaps, before using my silicone tool to even it out and pop bubbles. While that's curing under the UV light for a few minutes, we'll start making our colorful galaxy colors. I added the crystal purple first and... whoa, that's mesmerizing and oddly satisfying. Alright, blue, it's your turn to be like purple and look cool. Oh. Well, that was disappointing. Alright, enough of that. I added a few more drops of blue, white, some black glitter, and some teal glitter, and mixed it up. Now, are you ready for my monumental mistake? The stupid snowflakes. I was really excited to add them to look like stars, but they only ended up making the resin look clumpy and gross. So, not wanting to waste the resin, I poured it into this gemstone mold from Let's Resin. Don't worry, I'll unmold that at the end of the video. Anyway, back to the purple resin. I added some more drops of purple before adding white. This colorant is kind of syrupy, and it may have been what gunked up the blue, so I was really careful to only add the tiniest bit of white this time. Then I added some pink and black glitter, stirred it all together. I set that aside and stirred up a new batch of blue. I was careful again with the white colorant, then added black and teal glitter before stirring. It came out way better this time, thank goodness! Finally, I very slowly added the purple and blue resin to the castle mold. I only added a little at a time, making sure the resin reached the edges without overflowing, but was still thick enough to sort of dome the piece. Then I swirled the colors together. And honestly, I should have left it like this, but here comes mistake number 2. I wanted the back to look like stars. In real Galaxy art, you use a toothbrush to splatter white paint onto the surface for stars, so I thought I could add the snowflakes and white colorant to give it the same appearance. It looked cool at first, and I was really hopeful, but then the white colorant started spreading in the resin, which honestly I should have seen coming. Here's where I noticed it was spreading and getting messed up. I panicked and tried to get it under the UV light fast enough to stop it, but as you can see, it totally ruined it. The back came out super bubbly and uneven and looks more like a petri dish rather than a galaxy castle. Not only that, but as I was demolding it, I realized too late that some of the middle wasn't cured all the way. So I removed it carefully, replaced the cracked pieces, and cured it for a while longer. So I sat for a while, staring at my huge mistake, trying to figure out what to do. But I decided to take my Dremel out and go to work. And it was totally successful. I evened it out with the sanding tool on my Dremel and managed to get all the chunks off. So now I'm going to use my leftover colors, and thankfully I still have enough, and I'm going to recoat it again in the blue and purple. Recoat it again? That's redundant. I started really slowly with a toothpick to prevent the resin from dripping down the sides. Then, like before, I swirled the two colors in the middle. Finally, I added some baby oil, stars, glow-in-the-dark embellishments, and the ball bearings. Then, I brushed on some resin before adding the film and giving it a good flash cure with my UV flashlight. Then, I domed the entire piece in resin and added some star decorations to the towers and cured it for several more minutes under my UV lamp. I have yet to master filling shakers with liquid. I always manage to get it everywhere, but it is oddly satisfying to watch it fill up. Then I add a bit of resin to the hole and flash cure it. And finally, to finish up the piece, I brush some resin to the sides. Keep in mind I'm flash curing this with my UV flashlight after finishing each edge. As I'm going around, I add the screw-type eye pins in the corners for my necklace chain, and I secure those with a little bit of resin before continuing. All done! This is so glittery and fun to look at. I love watching the little balls move around and watching the glitter swirl around. Thankfully, the back turned out great after fixing it, and really helps to give it the galaxy effect. And best of all, the glow-in-the-dark effect is amazing. I added this super cute pink chain to the piece so it can be worn as a fantastic statement necklace. Ooh, just look at all that glitter and pink and galaxy realness! Oh, and don't forget our blue gemstones. These were totally unplanned, but came out in such a cute pastel color. And they're surprisingly super lightweight. What do you think I should make out of these? Earrings? A necklace? Bag charms? Let me know in the comments below, or use hashtag BunnieDIY on Instagram, and tell me what you think I should use them for a shout out in my next video. Thanks for watching, everyone! I'm thinking about hosting a giveaway for this necklace, so give this video a like and comment below if that's something you'd be interested in. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. Thanks everyone! Till next time!